Very little is needed to make a happy life. Very little is needed to make a happy life. It is all within yourself. It is in your way of thinking. Hi everyone. Today I want to talk about gratitude as one of those powerful conduits to help you into a new way of thinking, to improve the happiness and joy in your life. Gratitude is that acknowledgement and appreciation for everything that we have in our lives. It is the recognition and celebration of all of the little gifts, well, big or small, that have been bestowed upon us by the people around us, the people in our lives, friends, family, even strangers. If you're a spiritual person, perhaps the gifts that have been bestowed upon you by a higher power or by the universe itself, or the gifts you've given yourself through your hard work, dedication, and care. Gratitude helps us pay attention to the good that is in our lives, and in doing so, increases our abundance of it. What we pay attention to, what we focus on, we increase. And gratitude helps us make us see what is there instead of what isn't. Of course, I'm extremely grateful for all of you. Whether you're watching live or on replay, I do want to acknowledge that you're taking some time out of your day to be here, to listen. I love to know that you're watching. So thank you for taking the time. As I said, gratitude is a powerful force. And it's not just woo-woo, it's not just a nice idea. There is compelling and thorough scientific peer-reviewed research that shows the practice of mindfulness, the experience of it, improves our life satisfaction. It improves our quality of life. And improves our experience of living. Most people I work with sign up for change. We're looking to improve the quality of our lives, to live more. And this research shows that when you are experiencing gratitude and when you have more gratitude in your life, you will have more joy. That's more joy. You'll be more optimistic. You'll reduce anxiety and depression. Practicing gratitude strengthens our immune systems. It lowers our heart rate, lowers our inflammation in our body, and it improves our sleep and other physical effects as well. Of course, all of those knock-on effects of lower blood pressure, less stress, less anxiety. So we're at lower risk for lots of chronic illnesses and diseases. And more than that, when we are in the practice of routinely experiencing gratitude, making it part of our everyday lives, we actually improve our self-esteem. We feel better about ourselves. We improve our resilience. We cope better with trauma or adverse effects of things that happen in our lives. So we cope better and we recover sooner. In addition, we improve our self-control. So we're able to make healthier choices. For all of my people who are working with weight loss or managing cravings or urges, having more gratitude makes that easier. And finally, of course, acknowledging grateful, and particularly the role that it plays between people, helps us build stronger relationships. In fact, the theory is that one of the reasons humans have the experience of gratitude, and the reason why it's developed as a trait, is because it strengthens those bonds between people who have mutually helped each other out. So it's part of our tribal evolutionary biology, that idea that when we work together, all of our lives improve. So there's so many good reasons why we should be practicing gratitude. And you've probably heard about things like keeping a gratitude journal. My experiences, though, is that many people know it's a good idea, but don't actually have a practice of it. It's not something that you do regularly on purpose. It might happen occasionally. And if that's you, I'd like you to take just a moment to think about how much time you've spent in gratitude in the last 24 hours, in the last week, the last month. Is it something that you're purposefully practicing? Or is it just something that happens occasionally? And the good news is, if you'd like to make more, there's lots of well-researched, effective ways for increasing the amount of gratitude in your life, and thereby improving your thinking, elevating your thoughts, elevating your self-esteem, improving your physical well-being, your mental well-being in your life. So let me give you some ideas. Some of the popular approaches that have real benefits are things like writing a letter to perhaps someone in your past who, or even in your present, I guess, who you haven't really thanked properly for something they've done or for whom they've been, the role they've played in your life. It's also interesting to look about how many people have an effect, an impact on your life or on others that maybe don't get that acknowledgement and that gratitude that perhaps they deserve. Could you go out of your way to find someone who is underappreciated and let them know how grateful you are for what they do in the world? You could also increase gratitude by taking the time to slow down and really savor the good in your life. When you feel good, when something good happens, take some time to really appreciate it. And if it comes from someone else doing something, saying something, being there, then take the time to really acknowledge their good intent, that they are making an effort, that they are doing something perhaps even at a cost to themselves. You'll notice more gratitude. There's another technique called subtracting the positive effect. And the way this one works is you think about all the events that are positive, all the things you have in the life that are good, and think about what your life might be like. Just imagine what it might be like without them. It's an amazing way to really appreciate so many things that perhaps go unnoticed. It's all those little things in our life, like shelter and food and freedom of expression and clean drinking water. Imagine what your life would be like without those things. I thought of that personally myself, even just in the last week, where here in Brisbane it got cold and windy, and I was so grateful for walls that could keep the wind out. I was so grateful for windows so I could experience the lovely sunshine that we have without the wind. So it is the little things and the big things in our life that we can be grateful for. And you've probably heard about creating a gratitude journal. One of the best ways to do that is to consider the 3 good things that have happened in your life in the last 24 hours. I encourage you, maybe take a moment now and really just ask yourself, what are 3 things that you're grateful for having or being or having had happen in the last 24 hours? A good practice with a gratitude journal, of course, is write it down. Of course, you can record it in notes on your phone. And I really challenge you, if you're going to take on this idea of making a gratitude practice or journal, try and find new things every day. Try and constantly stretch yourself. And you will be amazed at how much opens up in your world. I always find when we're thinking about what's not working in our lives or what we don't have, we come from that sense of lack and absence. If we're wanting things to be better, then often we're saying to ourselves things aren't as good as they could be right now. Whereas when we come to gratitude, we actually practice, we look at it from, well, what do I have right now that I am grateful for? And we go from a very narrow worldview up to a much more expansive, open view. When what we have is enough, then we have the freedom to create more. The things that are the big deals, the worries, the concerns in our life become lesser, not such a big deal, become easier to manage and to cope with. Of course, it's important not just to experience the gratitude, and that is helpful. It will improve your life, writing it down, keeping a journal, paying attention to what you're grateful for. But you can compound that effect. You can make it much bigger and more effective in your life by expressing that gratitude. Actually going to that person who is underappreciated in your life and telling them how grateful you are for them. Actually reading the letter you wrote to someone you're thankful for or perhaps never thanked enough and letting them know. What I noticed in our workshops this last week when we started sharing our moments of gratitude, the energy in the room changed. We show up happier, more pleasant, more fun to be around. And so did everyone else. It can be a powerful force in our world for us and for the people we come in contact with. There is one more way that can really help you experience gratitude, and that is actually to practice volunteering. If you can afford the time and the energy, try doing something for someone else. And it's amazing how much gratitude we can come to in the giving, not just in the receiving. I hope that encourages you and helps you to want to do this. But sometimes when we're creating new behaviors, new habits, we can get motivated, we can get excited, we can do them for a couple of days maybe, and then it falls away, life gets in the way. So I know that when you want to create a new routine, a new practice, one of the most powerful things you can do is take a habit you already have and then take the habit you want to have and link them together. Use one as a trigger for the other. And that will act as a reminder to practice the new habit. And the more you do that, the easier and more second nature the new habit becomes. And I was thinking about that when I was thinking about this topic, and I was inspired by Michael Neal, who did a wonderful experiment where he decided to try and go 7 days without complaining about anything. And if he did complain, he had to reset the 7 days and start again. Now, that might not sound like such a big deal, but his experience was it took him about a year to actually have 7 days in a row of no complaints. It's one of the things that I think that goes often unnoticed in our lives, how often we complain, how we moan or whine, or how often we look at what isn't working, what isn't going well, instead of what is. That's natural, it's okay, it's our brain's survival instincts doing what it's supposed to do, paying attention to the danger in life. Excuse me. But it's actually not very helpful in the end. It actually reduces the quality of our life. So I thought we could solve both of these things together. And I'm going to offer for you today, whether you're watching this live or on replay, a 30-day challenge. What if every time you would complain or find yourself complaining in life, when you are focusing on what's not working, you instead express your gratitude? Take a moment to consider, well, what am I grateful for in life right now? What are you grateful for? And then actually speak it into the world. Actually express it. And I just wonder what might shift for you over 30 days if all of that time we spend complaining or moaning or looking at what isn't working, and instead spend it expressing and acknowledging our gratitude, how much better would your life be? And how much of a greater impact would you have on the people around you that you come in contact with? For 30 days, you just expressed gratitude instead of complaining. Kind of get goosebumps just thinking about it. So I'd love for you to share in the comments what you're grateful for today, if you're ready to opt in to this challenge and take it on. And I'd love to hear your experiences about what shifts for you. What do you notice that's different? Robert Holden says, the miracle of gratitude is that it shifts your perception to such an extent that it changes the world that you see. I really want you to consider that. Practicing gratitude, being in the experience of it, shifts your perception of the world enough that it actually changes the world. We can be powerful forces for good. And so imagine the way your life could be better and the people around you, the people you care about's lives, could be better in the next 30 days. Don't forget, if you are watching on YouTube, don't forget to subscribe. Make sure you get notified of every new video I put up. I'm very grateful for you giving me the time to share these thoughts. And I wish you much joy and much gratitude for the week ahead.